Hello, everyone. Thanks everyone for joining. My name is Dmitry. I'm from product marketing department, and today we'll go through typical mesh repair workflow on a few cases and show you repair techniques that go beyond mesh here. With this webinar, we want you to be able to solve the cases of any difficulty. In case we won't cover your workflow today, please feel free to email us later at support@meshinspector.com. It's our first webinar, and we would appreciate your support, and your activity today will help us decide if the community needs such a format. So please ask questions, leave comments, and click the like button if you like what we show. If you are watching us on desktop, if you are not in the full screen mode, you can see the chat just to the right of the video window. You can leave there your questions, comments, or reactions in the chat. I will try to reply to them right away in the chat or in the Q&A session in the end of the webinar. The webinar will last about 30 minutes. Olga is going to show, my colleague Olga is going to show you a few cases. We are going to start with a simple one where we touch the basics of mesh repairing workflow in MeshInspector. Then Olga will show you the most interesting part with two advanced cases. So stay tuned. Before Olga starts, let me tell you a few words about MeshInspector. MeshInspector is a cross-industry application that helps 3D specialists to accelerate mesh processing workflow. MeshInspector supports various workflows, including mesh repairs, transformation of 3D scans into solid models, digitizing 3D assets, facilitating CAD scan quality control, and taking measurements for reverse engineering purposes. MeshInspector is built upon the open source 3D processing library called MeshLib SDK. It's the engine behind MeshInspector that makes all tools so fast and robust. It was created by MeshInspector team that put into it all of the 15 years of experience in 3D software development. Okay, now let's move on to the demo part. One moment. Let's move on to the demo part. Please hold on. Olga will join within a minute. Meanwhile, you can think about the difficulties you had with repairing models in MeshInspector, formulate your questions, and write them in the chat.
Hello, everyone. My name is Olga. I'm also a product marketer at MeshInspector. And today I want to show you several cases which we will repair using MeshInspector features. So first of all, let's take a look at the window. Here we have different tabs like Home, View, Select, Create, etc. And all of our features are located in those different tabs. So let's open our models. In order to do so, we need to utilize the Open Files plugin. It's located right here. We also can simply drag and drop our model into the scene. So imagine that you have a bust of George Washington. I have just uploaded it, and MeshInspector already tells me that it's been around 2000 vertices deleted using MeshInspector. So now our model is completely manifold. But what's more, our model also has been not oriented correctly in the scene, because we see that the Z axis is located upwards, but our model is kind of laying down. So let's inspect what we have here. Right here on the left side, we have a scene tree and we can look into the details of the model in the information, opening up the drop-down. So it says that it's a mesh, it has several components, it has vertices, like 15,000 faces, and so on. So also we can view different models in here. So if I click on the model, I apply the plugins only to this part. I can also hide one of the models by just unchecking this button. So it's just shows us allows us to manage the visibility of the models in the scene. So I activate it. I can select both of them by just holding the Shift button. And here we have them. Also, we have the information section up here. It tells us that we have 2 objects in here, and we have hundreds, thousands of faces. We have vertices, and we can also see that the volume information tells us that the mesh is not closed. So let's us manage this. So first of all, we need to combine these 2 meshes together. What I can do, I can just click on the search toolbar in here, and I can search for merge function, and I can activate it like this. So now both of our models are merged together. I will just rename our model by double clicking on the name, and I will enter the name George Washington. Click on OK, and here we have it. Now it is merged. Also, what we need to do now, we need to orient our model in the right direction. In order to do so, I will go to the transform section, and here we have the rotation by XYZ, and I will enter 90 degrees in here, and I need to apply the transformation. That's really important. The next step would be just fitting the data in here. Here is our model. Now it looks just perfect. So let's analyze the model. What possible issues does it have that can prevent us from 3D printing it? So I will go to the Mesh tab, and here we have one of the main tools located that can help us repair our models. It's Mesh Healer. I will activate Mesh Healer, and here we now can see that the model has several issues. Like, first of all, this is the select to inspect and repair section. It shows us that the model has components like 8,000 small ones, about 80 large ones. It has holes, self-intersections, and it has no degeneracies. So in order to repair our model, we will utilize this select, inspect, and repair tool, and I will just click on repair selected. And this is all done. So now our model is perfect and it's ready for 3D printing. We can also now see what is the volume of our model, and the volume is about 37 million millimeters. But the thing is that I want to 3D print my model, and I want it to be around 5 centimeters in height. So I will need to just visualize the bounding box of the model. Here we see it. And right now the height of the model is about 8 centimeters in height. So in order to scale it to the size that I desire, I'm just gonna go to the transform tab, and in here we have a uniscale checked. That's right, because we want to apply it to the all dimensions of the model. So I will just scale it down a bit, and here we have it. It's about 5 centimeters. I will apply the transformation, and it's great. I will check our model again. I think it's just we have some degeneracies left. And I will just show you how to repair it again. Now it's all great. Let's proceed with another model. So let's imagine that you have a 3D scanner. They are now kind of pretty available. You could just order them online. And let's imagine that you have 3D scanned one of your friends or family member faces, and this is the result that you get. In case your 3D scanner also captured the colors and the color scheme, so in those cases you can just go to the Create tab and you can utilize the Delete Colors feature. It will delete the colors of the model. So I want to repair this model and prepare it for 3D printing, but it's kind of tricky, you know, this hole is huge and I kind of want to repair it in the way that it will look like a head. So what I'm gonna do, I will first of all activate the borders. Here we have it. So now we can see that we have some cracks in here and the model is kind of looks complicated to repair, but it's just fine. First of all, I'm gonna go to Mesh tab and I will activate Mesh Healer plugin. So I will try to repair those inconsistencies and issues. I will just click on Repair Selected. And here is the result I get. I understand that we still have some degeneracies and holes, but the hole that we have identified is this one. So let's just proceed with fixing this model, and then we'll check it in Mesh Healer again. So another tool that we can use in MeshInspector in order to fix holes in our models is Fill Holes tool. Let me activate it. This tool, it has several modes, I can say. Like we have a Fill Holes tools in here. We also have Make Breach tools in here, but I will just use Fill Holes for now. I will deactivate Triangulate only because I need to preserve the shape of the head. So I will uncheck those. I will set the smooth curvature, so I'll leave it like this, and I will choose the universal metric in here. So then I will rotate my model and I can simply click on Fill All Holes or just click on the edge of the model. So I will click on it. It's gonna take some time. Meanwhile, please feel free to leave your comments. And perfect, we have filled all of the holes that we had. But right now what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to clear the selection. I don't need that selected. I can actually utilize the select primitive tools. I just want to select this part up here. You can see it. Yeah, so I will just select this and wait. Select and delete this, delete selection. And also this one, so like this. I will delete the selection. Here in Select Primitives tool, I will just explain you quickly. We have different settings. So the first one I've selected it, I didn't activate Select Back Faces. So it only selected the faces that were just in front of me, but I kind of wanted to delete the whole part. That's why I activated it. So yeah, let's proceed. Moreover, also you can use the brush tool. You can see that the head doesn't really have the shape of the head. So for example, if you want to add some material in here, you can go to Mesh, and here we have a brush tool. It has also several modes like add. It just, for example, increase the radius even more. And for example, we want to add some material in here, and we just added it, so it will become puzzle, for example. I can also smooth it up like this to make it look better. So I will not dig deeper into that. Let's just repair our model to make it absolutely ready for 3D printing. So yes, I will just go to the Mesh tab, activate Mesh Healer again, and I will just rebuild our model in this time. Just let's utilize that. It also has settings where you can set the voxel size. That basically allows you to, like, the lower the voxel size, the more details get preserved, but it actually takes a little bit more time, and vice versa. So we'll just click on repair, like rebuild our model. And our model was completely rebuilt and it looks nice and smooth. So the next step that I want to take is I want to prepare it for 3D printing. And in order to do so, I need to align it perfectly. And right now the model is not aligned perfectly. So I will create a plane in here and I will move and rotate our model in this uniscale phase in transformation. So in here we have a features tab and we have a plane feature in here. So I will just pick points like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, really simple. I will refine it and I will close it. And I need to make Z. So I want to orient my model by Z axis. And in order to do so, I just click on it. But as you can see, my model right now is upside down. So to fix that, I just hold the shift button and I click on make Z again. And now it is perfectly aligned. That's what I wanted to achieve. So I will just deactivate this, uncheck it. I want to delete this plane. I don't need that anymore. Now we'll delete this. So here is our head, perfectly aligned, as you can see in here. I will just, I want to create a base in here in order to 3D print it. And I want to, in order to do so, to extrude it, I need to select the area of interest in here, the ones that will be extruded. So I will just rotate it like this. Yep. Just zoom in a bit and I will go to the select tab. I will click on select primitives tool. I will use the lasso mode. I don't want to select back faces. I don't want to select the whole model. So I will select only visible and I will just draw a circle in here and I will close that. So let's take a look. We have not selected anything that we didn't want it to. I'll go to the view tab where we can, as we already oriented our model, I can just go and click on top view. And in the mesh tab, we can click on extrude base where we orient this arrow to look to camera. So if I click on to camera and I click on extrude base, the base will be extruded in the area that I have previously selected before. So here we have it. Let me zoom out so we can take a look at our model. Yes, and now let's take a final look at Mesh Healer. After the extrusion, we have some degeneracies. So yes, I will click on repair selected and everything is repaired. So let's proceed with another model. Another model will be another case, the result when you scan something. So for example, you had an old statue in your closet, you just found it and you decided to scan it. And you ended up with the following result. Well, that doesn't look like something that you can 3D print because there are numerous of scans. They are not aligned. There are a lot of holes, so it doesn't look good at all. So in order to address this issue, first of all, we need to align those scans perfectly together. And we have a tool for that. It's called it's located in Transform and it's called Global Registration. So I just click on it. I click on Apply. And here we have it. It's perfectly aligned. It looks like just great. So the next step would be that I don't want numerous of scans because I want to triangulate it. And I just don't want to triangulate some parts of it. I want to triangulate the whole model, the whole point cloud that I got. So I will just open up the Create tab and I will merge all of the scans into one. I will rename it into all. Yes, and here we have it. It looks just fine. So we have a point cloud here. So in order to find the tool for point cloud, we'll go to the point tab, and here we have a fusion, triangulation, and regular terrain triangulation. So I will use fusion because it's kind of faster for now. So here it is. I will just click on fuse. And our point cloud was perfectly triangulated, but we can see that we have several holes in here. But the thing is that I could have just used Mesh Healer just to fill in all of them, but I don't want to use them because I don't want to use that tool for now. I will explain why. I want to make the base plane, so I want it to be like the ground, so the all would be able to stand. So I will address those holes differently. I will go to Mesh tab, and I will click on Fill Holes tool, and in here we have this Make Bridge functionality. So I will just show you quickly. So for example, you have this and you want to bridge those parts. I'll just zoom in, and I will choose the triangles, and I made a bridge, and I made another bridge. Let me just zoom out quickly. What else do we have? Yes. I want to make another bridge in here. Wait. Undo. Here we have it. And I think we got all. Oh, nope. Have another one in here. I think so. Yes. Let me bridge this one. Yes, here we have it. So now I will go to Fill Holes tool. What I'm gonna do, I want to fill in this huge hole, and I want it to be plain. So I will activate Triangulate only, and I will use the mean area metric because I don't want it to be curved. So I will just click on that, and here we have it. And now I can address other holes with a smooth curvature, universal, for example, like this. You can see that the design is well preserved in here, but I can also fill in all those holes with the universal metric using Mesh Healer. So let me do that fast. Just activate it, and I will click on Repair Selected. Please don't hesitate to leave any comments. We will be happy to answer them afterwards. Yep, it's almost done. Yes. We still have 2 holes left that I didn't fill in using fill holes. Apparently they seem to be too huge for that. So just let me go to fill holes. And with the previous settings, I will just do this and this. I could have just clicked on fill all. So I will clear the selection, and let's take a look at our model again. And we have some degeneracies left, and there is a way how we can address them. So I'll just show you this trick. For example, you ran Mesh Healer several times, but you're still left with the degeneracies. What you can do is just unselect everything else. You leave with the degeneracies. You can see that they are selected right now. I will close Mesh Healer. They are unselected, but if I undo, the selection is back. So basically I will go to the Select tab. I will just expand my selection, and I will delete the selection. And afterwards, if I go to Mesh Healer, the degeneracies are gone because I just deleted all the faces that had them. And I will click on Repair Selected. And here we have it. Also, we can smooth up our eyes a bit, for example. Undo that. a little bit. The radius is too big. And for example, like this, we can just smooth that because it didn't look really good. I can also remove some material in here because it seems to be not the right one. So it doesn't help the design. Yes, but so far that's all we've got for now. We can also create an extrude base in here, just quickly, with the select tool. Just let's take a look if our model is oriented well, and it's not at all. So we'll go to the features, we'll create a plane in order to orient our model, so it will be standing with the x-axis aligned, with the z-axis aligned. So I will refine it, I will create a new feature, and I will just make z. I will hold shift to make z, and now it's perfectly aligned. And afterwards, as we previously have done that, I will delete it and I will create, just select a base in here using select primitives tool without selecting the back faces. And yep, here we have it. Also, another way to do that, by the way, as I aligned it already by Z, I will go to view. I will look at it from the left side, right? So I will zoom out. Let me just rotate it a little bit. Left view, bottom view, pardon me, right view. Okay, anyway, let's do the left view. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Yes, so if I go to select primitives and go to lasso, what I can do is just zoom in here, and I will click two dots in here, just select the bottom of the model like this. Yep. But I needed to select the back faces. I'm sorry for that. I select the back faces, and now I can select all of it. I will close it. Let's take a look. Sorry, didn't seem right. Undo the selection. Clear the selection. Select back. Select primitives. I'll need to uncheck the select only visible faces. If I select like this, rotate, we have a base selected, and afterwards I can go to extrude tool and I will view from the top view because I need to look at the model. Click onto camera, extrude base, and it's done. I will just look at the model. Here we have it. We have extruded the base. It looks just fine and everything is nice. We may repair it again really quickly. Here we have it. Thank you everyone for watching this. I'm really happy that you've joined us, and feel free to ask any of your questions. My colleague Dmitry will join you just in a minute.
Hello again. Thank you for your questions. Hello, David. Yeah, I can show you how to cut it with the plane. We have a tool that is located in the Inspect tab. It's called Section. You can cut it and see the result. You can measure it. Yeah. I hope you find it helpful. Thanks for this question. I have another question, which sounds like, how come that, one moment, how come the mesh healer function has been removed from the free version? So over the past year, we've added features like mesh healer, feature creation, and global registration, which are now mainly used in the commercial sector. The original community plan didn't have them and was intended only for non-commercial usage. So to meet the growing demand and support our community, we restructured our plans 3 months ago, giving our users time for a smooth transition. So that's it. I cannot see any more questions at that point, so let's finish then. Yeah, thanks for joining and watching this webinar. Could you please let us feedback? Was it complex or too simple? What we showed to you? What themes would you like to see in the future? And so on. We would be happy to know your opinion. So that's all for now. Thank you, and I hope to see you again.